The original video is linked in the description down below. Enjoy. Alright then, so in this one we're going to be looking at black and white audits. I do like black and white audits. It's very straightforward, and I believe is one of a handful which are doing auditing in Scotland. I don't know much about Scottish law, but I am learning, so we'll just get straight into it.
No, just do some arresty stuff. Watch me kick off. Aye, how we doing?
Not bad, fella. What are you up to?
Just doing a wee audit. You know, photography auditing? Familiar with it, no?
No.
No? Not familiar with it at all?
No, you need to
You've been left in the dark, mate. You familiar with photography auditing at all?
No, what are you doing here, sir?
I'm recording.
Okay, and why are you recording?
Because I'm following up an incident where someone came here about 2 years ago, came all the way from England, and he was arrested for threatening abusive behaviour just for holding a camera up.
So, this is what's really confusing to me. I don't know how officers haven't heard of auditing yet. It's been going on for 6, maybe 7 years. In the UK anyways. 6 or 7 years, maybe in the UK. Maybe a bit longer, maybe a bit shorter, give or take a couple of years. So I don't know how officers haven't heard of it. It really confuses me, because they should have, like I say, been going 6 or 7 years, give or take a couple of years. So the fact that an officer said they haven't ever heard of it, it's a bit mind-blowing.
Right.
Does that sound like threatening abusive behaviour?
I
know. Well, there's a video online, and I watched the whole thing. He's very articulate and very well spoken, very well mannered, and he was arrested at this very spot, may I add. Threatening abusive behaviour.
Okay.
If he was like me and more aware of the laws in Scotland, I would have resisted myself.
What is it you want, Scott?
Just a wee interaction, a wee bit of just a little bit of commentary on being arrested for threatening abusive behaviour for holding up a camera in this location right here. Does that sound right?
We don't know the ins and outs of that.
I do. I've seen the whole video.
I don't. Sorry.
All right, the video's online.
Well,
Have any of you heard of photography auditing at all? Pinac? Photography is not a crime. Large movement on YouTube. Anyone? Not at all.
We're not going to make any comment on something that somebody was previously arrested here. We can't do that. We can't start talking about somebody else's
You
case.
also can't use force to remove someone in a publicly accessible area.
So I'm glad they're not willing to speak on somebody else's case. Thank God for that, because of GDPR. Secondly, I don't think anybody's allowed to use force to remove anybody from a publicly accessible area. Unless if you're on private land and then you're being requested to move. I know in the UK they can use reasonable force to remove you off of their property. By the sounds of it, I don't think they can in Scotland. That's something else I will look into, or if Black and White Audits wants to comment on this video and educate me, I am more than willing to learn. But by the sounds of it, Black and White Audits is very articulable on what he's saying, and these officers, you can tell by the face that is correct.
Nobody is at the moment, are they?
I know, but it happened. That's why I'm covering it.
Yeah, there's lots of things have happened, but we can't discuss that. Okay.
Well, I could discuss if you tried to do that to me, I would use force to resist.
Would you really?
Yeah, I would. Does that in itself constitute threatening abusive behaviour?
What, the threat that you're going to...
Use reasonable force in the event of an unlawful arrest.
Right, okay.
That's not, is it?
So what's the benefit of this today, other than
Well, the whole...
some attention for yourself?
No, the whole movement online is actually quite large, and it's mostly to do with the viewers. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the huge amount of viewers that tune into this kind of thing.
So what do you want?
I'd also like to add to that, it's not just the viewers. If the police didn't act the way they did, and public servants didn't act the way they did, it wouldn't be a movement. The whole point it's a movement is because the police do not like accountability. That is the whole reason it's a movement. Regardless if there wasn't viewers, the reason there's viewers is because of the way the police react. It's as simple as that. Secondly, in a unlawful arrest situation, you are allowed to use reasonable force to resist that arrest. You're allowed to do that in the UK, but you have to be 100% sure that is an unlawful arrest. And it will be very hard to fight that in court unless if you can prove 100% it is unlawful. Well, let's carry on.
You can stand there if you want.
I want you to pass today, and you're doing quite well so far.
If you want to stand there, you can crack on standing.
Magic.
At the moment.
Thank you.
As long as you don't try and enter the building.
I'm not trying to enter anywhere I'm not allowed to.
Okay. The problem is...
There's no problem at all. No, just stop speaking to me. I don't want to hear it.
So you're coming here for interaction without your interaction?
Yeah, well, you're going to cop-splain to me. I can hear it already.
Is that a thing?
It's publicly accessible, and I've walked here without climbing any barriers. You don't really have a leg to stand on in respect to me being here. Yeah, I know, but I'm following up someone who's unlawfully arrested. It doesn't matter about his rank. He's not your superior, he's your senior. There's a difference. He doesn't get to tell you what to do.
All you're trying to do just now is try and provoke.
I'm not trying to provoke anything.
Don't you think it's quite funny how he's trying to provoke, and that's why it's what's happening here, right? But if you look at the last couple of videos I've posted, that's exactly what the police are doing, trying to provoke an interaction so they can get an arrest. So what is the difference of him provoking an interaction to get a video? To me, I don't see none. And the fact that this sergeant was going to give directives, cops playing, whatever you want to call it, to him, it is really annoying. Don't eat yellow snow and all that sort of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, I've got through life this far without all the directives. I don't need them.
I wouldn't be here if I never had pre-existing concerns from a prior interaction.
I've listened to you. Now, at the moment, the only person that sounds agitated or aggressive or
with a shaky
angry
hand
is you.
Oh, I've got to try holding the phone like this.
Is you, okay? Everybody else is quite calm.
That's fine.
Said, as long as you don't try.
I've got to roast you a little bit. I've got to give you a wee prod.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
No, you don't.
Is that how you get your clicks?
No.
Is that how you get your
No, the way I get my clicks is if you were to force me to threaten a taser against me, threaten me with arrest, blah blah blah. You've not done that today. You get.
So just as this other officer is going on about provoking or having like snarky comments and stuff, you see the sergeant do it straight away with your little shaky hand. So that's not provoking or being snarky. It's funny, innit? How it works both ways. Literally, I was just on about it, and then this sergeant does the exact same thing.
You're getting a pass today so far, okay?
Oh, thank you.
Just chill out.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's it. Oh, well, I've got my pass.
We've
So you're
actually
here
got
and you're
things
going to
do.
remain peaceful and respectful
Yep.
with anybody you deal with.
Yep.
Right.
Okay, could I ask your name, please?
You can
It's
ask.
just-
Go ahead. I'm preparing myself. Go.
I'm just saying, would you mind telling me who it is? Because if somebody phones up and says there's concern about a gentleman outside, I can say that yes, I've spoken to you.
I'm not going to give it.
Okay, fair enough.
And that's another thing I don't understand. Can I have your name? Because if somebody rings up and says there's a gentleman outside, I can say I've spoke to him. Giving you his name doesn't make a difference. You've spoke to him. So that little argument there, to me, it never makes any sense when they say that. You spoke to him, you can already say, yeah, I spoke to that gentleman. But you don't need his name for that.
We have got other things we can be doing. We can't stand out here and have a discussion with you.
Yeah, well, that would be part of it. If you're going to stand here till I leave, that's also kind of
No, I'm
weird.
not going to.
Good,
I've got a feeling that you're going to stand there for as long as we will stand here.
Yes.
And we don't have that time.
So you're going to disengage, and then I'm going to end this
As
video.
long as you don't try any of the buildings.
I'm not trying to
anywhere
get in.
else you shouldn't go, and you remain peaceful, then you can crack.
Last thing I want to do is walk into a custody suite and not be able to get out.
Yeah. But you can understand there's various concerns, obviously, with security and stuff like that. So you can understand why you would be challenged being in the back here, because it's not normal behaviour. Okay?
Well, it is now. For the last 6 years, this is very normal behaviour. It's a very large. What?
This is the second time I'm aware of it.
Yeah. But Scotland's not got very many auditors. That's why I've kind of joined the ranks.
Yeah. But just because it's not illegal doesn't mean to say it's the right thing to do.
Well, because
So what this sergeant has just said, yes, recording at the back of the police station, I do expect to be challenged, but it all goes on how you go around challenging somebody. If you do it the way you have at the minute, there's not a problem with it at all. Ask the questions you need, and then that is it. But when you start using force or legislations or terrorist acts to get what you want, that's when the problem lies, where the problem lies, because we shouldn't have to be searched under the terrorist act so you can try and get our information so you can do this, because it's pretty clear you don't think I'm a terrorist. Or you might do, but you also know basically what we're doing. Secondly, they like to use the Police Reform Act or the Antisocial Behaviour Act to move you on. When recording in itself is not antisocial, it's not nothing like that. So that's where us auditors have the issue, is where you try going above and beyond to get your way. The interaction's perfectly fine as long as you go around it the right way.
Because it's not thresholded for public exclusion, it's fine for me to be here.
It's fine for you to be here.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean to say it's the right thing to do, does it?
I'm not out to do the right thing.
Well, maybe you should be. Maybe the public in general. Maybe.
Well, that's a message you should maybe relay on to your colleagues.
Why?
Because Police Scotland is rated the lowest in Britain for basic civil rights.
Right, okay.
Especially in respect to this kind of content.
Okay, you've got your attention.
That's not
Happy
attention.
with that. Get your
Yeah.
clips.
Okay.
You can't be surprised if you get challenged when you're in the back of a police office like this.
Well, you can't be surprised when I physically challenge someone that's trying to arrest me unlawfully.
Who's trying to arrest you?
No one is. I'm saying it's a hypothetical.
Oh, let's go. I deal with facts. I can't deal with hypotheticals.
Well, you're one of the few.
I'm pretty sure every single time you see these auditing videos and they're at the back, the police are always using hypothetical stories as a reason to search you or do whatever, abuse your rights or whatever. Whereas, and now he's saying you deal on facts. You don't, do you? Hence why you get search warrants. There's no fact that there's something happening in there. There's no fact that this. You work on hypotheticals, and that is as simple as that. It should be you work on facts. But let's carry on.
Right. I think we've seen all we need to see. Oh, they fairly put me in my place. They might have a point if this whole movement didn't have a backstory to it. But there you go.
Alright then, so I've had my view on this video throughout the video. You know my opinion on this video. Like I say, auditing wouldn't be a thing without the police's reactions the way they are. It is that simple. If the police acted better and within the law about abusing people's rights, auditing wouldn't be a thing. But go over to Black and White Audits. He's got some really good videos out there. Go subscribe to his channel, boost him up. Let him know you've come from my channel if you really want. And that's basically it. As always, let us know in the comments down below what you thought of this interaction. Like the video, does open YouTube's algorithm, and I'll catch you on the next one.